Hey everybody, my name is Tasha here for Candy Little Yams, and I'm here to do a quick 2-month breastfeeding update. Everything has been going smoothly. I have not had any more like super engorgement, nothing that I couldn't work out like clogged ducts or mastitis, nothing like that. And I still haven't had like dry cracked nipples or anything like that, thank goodness for that. I do still get a little bit sore, but nothing like in the beginning. If I do get sore, I either ignore it, which works, or I put a little bit of olive oil or coconut oil on my nipples and it goes away on its own. Another thing that helps with soreness is when pumping, I lubricate my nipples first with a natural oil like an olive oil. Usually it's olive oil. If I'm sitting next to my coconut oil, I use coconut oil. It's just whatever's closest to me at the time. But on the note of pumping, I was having a hard time discovering, like, since I stay at home and I usually am the one to feed her, whether it's through breast or bottle, I'm usually the one to give it to her. So I usually use my breast. Even when I'm out in public, in fact, definitely when I'm out in public, I'm not taking a bottle with me. So I always breastfeed from my nipples in public anyway. She gets about a bottle a day usually. Maybe sometimes she skips a day without getting a bottle. And I found a bottle that she likes that she'll take from me. It's the Tommy Tippy Back to Nature bottle. The Medela nipples, like, she'll take them from other people, but she will not take that nipple from me. But the Tommy Tippy bottle, she will take from me, so that's exciting. But on the note of pumping, I was having a hard time like figuring out when I was going to pump, why I was even pumping, because I am not going back to work just yet, and I am the one to do the sole feeding. So I was like, why am I pumping? And I was a little bit unmotivated. And as soon as I found a rhythm, like, I'm just going to build a small freezer stash and have enough to give her a bottle, you know, if I need to run to the store, or if I just want her to drink without touching me. Sometimes you don't want to breastfeed, and I love it, but sometimes you don't feel like it. So, you know, whatever. And so I decided to pump when I wake up, because I have a lot of milk at 7 a.m. and about 7 p.m. she's taking a long nap and I am full, so I pumped in the evening around 7 p.m. Then she got diagnosed with thrush. I may have thrush, but I don't have symptoms of thrush, and I hope and pray that I don't get thrush, but she has thrush. And when you have thrush or your baby has thrush, they advise you to not use that milk after you're done treating. So while you're treating, you can use your stored milk and your frozen milk, but if you pumped milk during a thrush episode, they advise you not to use that milk after the thrush episode has been treated, because you can reintroduce the yeast to your nipples and to the baby's mouth, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it could be a vicious cycle. So since I've always really known her to have white on her tongue, I always thought it was milk, and it quite possibly could still be milk. We don't know, because I don't know, she wasn't like put the stuff under a microscope. The doctor just kind of looked, and it was thick and it wouldn't come off, so he was like, it's thrush. So we've been treating for thrush, but where was I going with this? Oh, she's always had that white on her tongue, so I think she's always had the thrush. And during my pregnancy, I did have a yeast infection that would not go away, and I was treating, I was like on a 14th day of monostat injection at nighttime when I gave birth to her. So who knows if I had an active yeast infection at the time. I may have, it's possible. So she may have always had thrush. It doesn't really seem to bother her that much. It kind of goes away on its own, but we are treating for it. But because of that, the little bit of freezer stash that I had to throw away. And I'm actively throwing it away and kind of using it while we're still treating for thrush, but I'm kind of mostly just throwing it away. So that's the sad news that I had to tell you. If you've experienced it and could give me any words of encouragement, I kind of lost all motivation to pump again after I knew I was going to have to throw away my freezer stash and I wasn't going to be able to store up anything that I was pumping anyway. But I started getting engorged, like not really engorged, but just heavy and kind of sore. So I started back pumping. Anyway, that's it for my 2-month breastfeeding update and how pumping is going and how the thrush is going. She still has thrush after 1 week of treatment with nystatin. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know. That is it. Bye.